If you're like me and you haven't had a prominent father figure in your life, because my dad left as a child, then you will see Andrew Tate, Hamza, people like that as masculine father figures, all right? You will view them as people who are simply authoritative and have something to tell you that's actually of essence. Why do you think you resonate with just things Andrew says so much? Why do you think young men are so goddamn in love with him? Why do you think they're obsessed with his content and consuming his 3-hour podcasts, which have like 10 million views by different hosts? That is an insane amount of views for just one personality. It's because we, as young masculine men, are being force-fed agendas about not being masculine, which is in and of itself an absolute ridiculous sentiment, because if you have a natural and masculine essence as a young man, then why would you not be masculine? That's like telling girls not to be feminine. And with all this toxic masculinity words being thrown around at the lightest fucking instance of anything that's considered masculine, of course guys are losing their testosterone and drive and are afraid to actually do what makes them happy because they're afraid of being labeled as toxically masculine. Getting rid of masculinity is in and of itself big problem in the entire nation in the West, bro. If we're turning men into women and women into men and anyone can be whoever they want, that removes all kind of polarization. When people like Andrew Tate come into play, right? And they preach these masculine values, these traditional masculine values, then young men who haven't had that, which is pretty much every young man, every millennial, everyone born in like 2000, because their father was likely not as masculine as 100 years ago, and afraid to be that superhero role model kids should view their dad as. Shouldn't view their dad as a second mother. They should view their dad as this mysterious superhero who teaches them about life and everything that concerns it. So then we view people like Andrew Tate, right, blowing up like crazy, and there are still people that label him misogynistic and this and that, and he shouldn't be allowed to have free speech, even though he's only able to attract such a large amount of following due to the things he is saying being in the minds of many young men. It's simply what many think, but we can't live out these thoughts anymore, or we can't even speak about them because we will get crucified. And then there's this thing happening where we can't really live out our essence, or where we get suppressed, we get put down for our essence, and we need to behave in a certain way. But then when we do that, we become depressed, lazy, suicidal, sexually frustrated because no girl actually wants to fuck you when you're a loser, emasculated slob. And so Andrew Tate does immense things for men's mental health on the daily, bro. Like when I feel down, I put some of his motivational speech on. What color's your Bugatti? Instant mood lift. Now, where are masculine role models in the media? Nowhere. Because we already know the agenda, bro. Like if you've been following along, the Balenciaga thing as well, like we know suppressing masculinity is a move in and of itself, because that truly weakens a nation and truly creates perfect consumers, in addition to many other things. But then when masculine role models get banned for labeled misogyny, which was literally 150 articles overnight released all over the entire world with pretty much the same words and sentences, just in a different order. Like the same article 150 times overnight. There was no article before that. Which then confused the masses, right, about Andrew Tate, misogyny, blah, 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 because that's not the reason they banned him or painted a bad picture for him. They don't give a fuck how he speaks about women or any of that. They simply give a fuck if he has a large influence about the impressionable masculine youth, because that's the group they most need control over. They're the backbone of the slave labor. They go die in a ditch if they have to. They work in coal mines and on construction sites. They built the entire world in a sense. Then you're still seeing campaigns that are labeled 1 out of 4 suicides are women. A link to a women's suicide hotline. What the fuck? That literally means 75% of suicides are men. What? And then they silence people who actually try to help men with their mental struggles, like Andrew Tate, right? Then they get rid of these people. And that's why you're so goddamn attracted to him, right? Which is my meta point. Because he makes you, as a masculine man, feel like you want to feel like you're true to your core, and you get this desire, you get this burn. Like, if you watch him, you probably know what I'm talking about, but when he talks, you just want to listen. All the time, you just want to listen. And if you haven't had a father figure, or even if you had, he probably couldn't have been as impactful as Andrew Tate could have been, in a sense. So you still will gravitate to people like Andrew Tate, hyper-masculine role models. Bro, even back in my gaming days, there was this one character, this one individual called John Zerka. He entered like a dating show on Twitch I used to watch, right? Just complete anti-social nerd shit. He just started roasting the fuck out of everyone. He's like a 6'5" jock, jacked as fuck, nightclub bouncer, right? Pure masculine energy, high testosterone. And I literally became an instant super fan. And back then, I didn't know why. I just thought he was funny, entertaining. No, man, it's because he was kind of a father figure. And with the internet, that's a fantastic thing. We can essentially, as young men, get father figures through the internet. But there are so few of these. There have only been these extremely weak gamer, nerd type of individuals who I resonated with as well. But my awakened masculine side, which I didn't awaken back then because I couldn't. I've been taught not to. I've been taught to be a loser through porn and Netflix and video games and Twitch TV and YouTube, right? Because now I know this, but back then I didn't know. This is not welcomed. This is not supported. This is not wanted by the Matrix. They do not want you to be masculine. Obviously, we know that. But also, other people play the agenda as well, right? Because then other people, they adapt. They think, oh, I'm doing good because I'm a little bitch. And then people like me look at these streamers and then like, God damn, who's that? And that's why John Zerka stood out so much. Like, yeah, he's fucking entertaining and funny as well, of course. But also, all the side of Twitch who has never experienced actual masculinity and like this side to personality has always just seen, oh, let's go here and collect some wood. You know, like that shit, bro. They all saw this and were like, whoa, goddamn, that's new, that's fresh, that really resonates with me. And guess what happened to John Zerka, bro? He got banned because a girl flashed her, you know what I mean, on his live stream in public. He got banned for that, right? It was completely unpredictable. He couldn't have seen it, nothing like that. Now, of course, I understand like a 3-day ban, maybe 7-day ban. Okay, they banned him for months. And that would be okay if the regulations didn't have this insane double standard, like not banning these literal softcore porn streamers on Twitch who just sit in bathtubs and collect donations and show off their body. And, you know, and there have been instances of girls flashing their privates as well, not on accident, on purpose. And they get like a 3-day ban and then get unbanned. There's an obvious bias. And talk about female privilege, right? In a sense, I'm not mad at them either. They're just getting cash from idiot men. But the idiot men are also created through this agenda of making men extremely weak and emasculated. But yeah, John Zerka, he was like Andrew Tate is for me right now. Andrew Tate is the next level, right? John Zerka is hyper masculine. I learned so much from him. I even adapted how he speaks, right? It's crazy, and it's still in my mind because he has such a masculine way of speaking and such conviction. It feels like someone tells me I'm in control. Anyway, that's a bigger problem. But what I'm trying to say is it's important to support these individuals simply because the message is so suppressed and because so many people need to hear it.